Alright guys, first and foremost, I want to apologize for not doing the live stream yesterday. And there's an explanation for that before I go through what I'm about to go through. So I had some clips recorded that I wanted to share, especially taking out the Sunlu S8 out of the box. But a bunch of things happened this week. We got a bunch of new furnitures, bunch of new couple stuff, and it just really threw off the whole clip. And then what made it worse was yesterday, I think on Wednesday night, I was trying to do a little small private live stream, but apparently you can't live stream for the first time until 24 hours first. So I guess it's a 24-hour activation through Google before you can do the first live stream. I didn't know that. I was just, you know, it was just suggested by one of my subscribers, and I thought it was going to be a good opportunity to kind of like interact with you guys and do it live, but that failed miserably. So I'm going to probably try attempt sometime next week, maybe when I'm doing like the wiring, but this build is going to be taking a little bit longer only because I have to wait on the 180mm belt for this. It's coming from AliExpress. I don't know when it's going to come. I got a few other things coming. So that might delay it for maybe a couple of weeks, but it's not going to be too long. Maybe by the end of the month I should have those in, but I'm just going to do what I can. So for now, I'm just going to go over what I've done so far and what's going to be done during this weekend. So I'll upload another video this weekend, and I'm going to detail some of the processes of how to put this together. So I apologize, guys. I wish I could do that live stream. But then again, I'm not the greatest in terms of organization. This stuff is laid out all over the ground. So I'm not, I don't know how that live stream would have went. I'm not the most organized guy, I can tell you that, especially when it comes to like modding printers. My stuff is all over the place. But I have to figure out a way to get things a little bit better organized for a live stream presentation. All right, but so far I've unboxed it. I have completely stripped it, okay? So there's nothing added on. I took off the bed. The bed is just sitting there. I pre-added the magnetic bed sticker on the bed itself. So it's just laying the opposite side. But that's already done, so I don't have to worry about that. The bed carriage is off. The front is off. I'm currently printing a new front panel for it on my Switchwire. This is a custom front panel for the Sunlu S8 that Mike King, he has a Facebook group. He designed this front panel. I'm going to give him a shout out because he did an awesome job. I managed to incorporate the Voron logo in it, but I also kept his name, again, for his incredible job of supporting this small yet awesome brand of printers. So if you guys have a Sunlu S8 and want a custom cover, I'm going to put his Thingiverse link in the description. And he has a Facebook group. Go and support him. Awesome dude. So I just want to give him a shout out. I think he might have a YouTube channel too. If he does have that, I will definitely put a link there. But for those who have a Sunlu S8 and want to print a a front cover in any color, any design you like. He has designed it. It fits, from what I'm hearing, it fits perfect. It's for the, it goes with the stock board, the stock screen. There's also a cover for the SKR 1.4, 1.3, 1.4 turbo, and also the Victory Tech TFT. So the TFT E3, V3, and 3.0. So it support those specific models. But yeah, again, good job, awesome job. I asked him to take off the Sunlu S8 name, because that's what was on it originally, so that way I can put the Voron logo on there. It's, you know, because this is now a Voron, so I want to make sure it's known, and he did that for me. So again, awesome job. But I kept his name because he has his name embossed in it, and that's fine, because you know what, he designed it, it deserved the credit. He's supporting a small group of people that have this printer, so I really appreciate him for going out his way and designing this. So shout out to him, awesome job. So I just wanted to let you know that. So I printed the side piece. It has two side pieces that it mounts to, and then it'll just cover the front, so just give it a nice full look. So the front panel is off, the board is out. I haven't mounted the 2040 beams that's supposed to be there. They're all over there. And so what I'm getting ready to do this weekend is show you how to install the linear rails, and then the linear rails for the bed, the linear rails for the Z-axis, and then the linear rails for the X-axis. And I'll go step by step so you guys know what I'm doing. As far as parts, you know, make sure you get all the printed parts. The parts are a mixture. I don't think I was clear in the video of what parts are printed, but some of the parts come from like the Ender 3 Pro mod for the Switchwire, and some of are the official. So the official parts are from the Voron Switchwire itself, right? And that's the afterburner system. But the every other part came from the mod, because the mod specifically is for the 2040 and the 2020 extrusion, whereas the original Switchwire, those STLs are for the 3030 extrusion. So make sure if you're gonna do the conversion, make sure, I'm gonna post two links in the description of the two different mods for the Ender Pro conversion, or any Cartesian style conversion, because those STLs are specific for the 2040 extrusion. So I just want to let you guys know that. So it's a mixture, but like, I'll put the link in the description. I try to do a better job of linking those items for those who want to attempt to do this. What else I have? I'm gonna put some fresh springs on here, stiffer springs. I got this is a bed carriage I designed in Tinkercad. This is what the rail, this is what mounts on the rail. So this mounts on the top of the rail, and then the bed mounts on top of here to these two holes. So it will look something like this. I designed it, so if you guys want it, I'll put that link in the description as well. So it will sit something like this. The holes line up perfectly. So you sit like this, and then you screw it down, okay? So it's pretty easy. You know, I don't have the best of CAD skill, but, you know, because it's like a super square design, it's not anything difficult. I'm pretty sure anybody could pull that off. So that's what I designed. And of course, you would need your two M4 extruders. Like I said, I only got one of the sizing of the belts. I'm just waiting for more belts to come. You're gonna need these bearings. You need like 20 of them. So I have 2 packs here. I have an extra pack there with a little bit, but I have 2 packs here. You're gonna need lots of these T-nuts, the one that slides into the channels. Those are better than the actual the other T-nuts that when you screw it, it turns and grab the channel. I find these are better. You just less hassle, you know, less fight to deal with. You're gonna need some spacers between the actual between the idlers. You're gonna need some spacers. So I got these from Lowe's, my local Lowe's. What else you gonna need? Of course, my SKL 1.4 turbo with the 5-stepper drivers. You're gonna need some wires, more wires here, lots of screws. If you can get all size screws, as you can see, I have tons of M3 screws. You need lots of inserts, mostly M3 inserts. Actually, majority of this is M3 screws. So different size M3 screws, so you need lots of M3 inserts, okay? What else? JST connectors down here, and you need some M5s, okay? So that's really it. That's really all you need. And so I'm also using, for the bed, since the bed is a little bit on the, I want to say it's heavier side, it has some weight. I'm using a stepper online. This is a 86 ounce stepper motor, so it's beefier and torqueier, a lot more stiffer when it comes to spinning it. So I'm using this for the bed. I think it's gonna work good, especially when you're trying to print fast. You need a motor that can actually move that bed back and forth pretty quickly. So that's great. And what else do I have? I think that's it for now. Of course, I have the 50-watt cartridge here, pre-cut. Got my 50-15 fan. Got my, you know, your regular, I want to say NTC thermal sensor, thermometer here. So it's not focusing. I'm trying to focus it here. So yeah, so I'm gonna need to cut this down as well to wire up. But for the most part, that's all you needed. Now, I also have my linear rails all set up and done too as well. So I cleaned my linear rails. So basically, the best way to clean linear rails is to take the carriage off. Take the carriage off the rail. Use some isopropyl alcohol, or just like 99% alcohol, and clean the rails. I put mine in a spray bottle. So I spray it, clean it, wipe it down. I think I do it a couple of times. And then I soak this in alcohol as well. All the carriage, I soak them in alcohol. Try not to lose any of the small bearings on the inside. You can just slowly slide it off and put it back on. But I clean this, the rail first. And then once I clean the rail, I get inside the grooves, like the side grooves here. I get in there nice, and wipe it down nice and clean. And then once that's done, I try to wipe down the carriage the best I can. I mean, you really can't really wipe this down too much, just because you have the ball bearings on the inside. So you want to be careful not to lose any of those. So once that's done, I let the carriage dry. And once everything is dry, I take some super lube. The lube I use, let me see if I can pull it out here, show you guys. So this is the lube I use here. You can get this on Amazon for like $4. It's pretty good. I love this stuff. So I use some super lube and I squirt it on the inside of the carriage, on the bearings. So, and then I put it back on the rail, and I move it back and forth really fast, just so it can get into the channels that the bearings run into. And I just move it back and forth really fast, and I take it off again, put some more super lube on the bearings, and then put it back in, run it again, and you're good to go. So these have been sitting in lube for a minute now. So they've been soaking for a couple of days sitting here. So they're ready, good to go. Like I said, it's very smooth, like effortlessly moving. And so these are my rails. So what I'm gonna do now this weekend is get the camera set up, get everything in place, so that way I can guide you guys on how to build the Switchwire, how to put it together, give you more details as I'm putting together what I'm doing, you know, so that way for those who want to attempt, it's not so difficult to do. I'm also planning on also doing a part 2 of how to install Clipper. Since Clipper now has a new dedicated API in terms of mainsail or fluid. They're just the same. Basically, they do the same thing. They're just different interfaces for Clipper. And the benefit with that is that Clipper is built in with it in mind. So when you install mainsail on a Raspberry Pi or fluid, clippers already built in, so you can just basically, it makes it much more easier to install clipper versus the other way of using Octo clipper with the Octoprint interface. So I'll go over that in more detail. There's a video coming up for those who want to convert from Marlin and want to get on the board with Clipper, which is an awesome firmware. Then I have a video coming for you guys in details of how to install Clipper, how to do input shaper. I'll go over the config one more time, you know, in terms of going a little bit more detail in the config. So don't worry, guys, do not give up. Clipper is awesome. And so that video is coming out at some point here, maybe sometime next week. I'll try to get that working on. So, but yeah, so everything is ready. Just waiting for that to finish here, right here, and then I'm gonna get cracking. So again, we'll have a video today. Well, this video is gonna be out sometime in the afternoon, and then I'll have another video on the weekend with me putting this up. And then yeah, so thank you guys for being patient with me. Again, any question you have in a comment, I try to answer them. So just don't be afraid to ask a question. If there's something I don't know, I'll look it up for you. I'm just only sharing what I know. So don't be afraid to ask questions, guys. If you guys want to attempt to do this, I'll try my best to support you in that aspect. So yeah, so I'll see you in the next one. Peace. All right, guys. So I wanted to add this video as well, a little treat for you guys. So as you can see, I have my extruder at 295/75. I'm about to test a speed benchy on my Tronxy Core XY X5 S8 Pro. As you can see, 300 millimeters, 20,000 acceleration. It's already tuned for input shaper. 295 bed, 75 bed. 295, I mean extruder, 75 bed, 10% infill. Maybe I should take off connected lines actually, yeah. Shell. There we go. So I'm about to attempt this. I'm using PTG because PLA cannot hold up to this type of speed. I've tested this before. So let's see what happens. It's either it goes or it fails, but I've tried it. It didn't turn out too bad. But let's see. But I wanted to show you the capability of this machine once you do those little mods, that this machine is very capable. So I'm gonna go ahead and submit that job right now. I'm gonna upload it. As you can see, there's a little plugin that you can use to upload directly to here. So it should, all right. Yep, upload print job and start. There we go. All right. So I use my start config for this machine. I use it in Cura instead of the actual config file. It's just easier for me because I just since Cura Clipper recognizes the startup config, I just plug it in Cura and then it's just easier for me. So right now it's actually doing a Z tilt, and essentially what it's doing, it's evening out the bed so you can get a flatter surface, right? So it's kind of equalizing the bed so one side is not lower than the other. It's pretty accurate. Right now I have mine set at 0.0025, which is really good. I mean, you're talking about within millimeters. See, it's all done. Let me show you what that got it in. It got within, there you go. So it got within 0.25, even though I set it to 0.5, so even lower. And so now it's going to the bed leveling procedure. And I run this every time I print. So every time I print, it goes into a Z tilt. Make sure the bed is nicely set up, and make sure that everything is, once it's nicely set up, it goes through its bed leveling procedure, and then it purge and then prints. I find that it's better to do it this way. It's very consistent. I don't have to sit there and wait on it. Now, if you set the accuracy to like too low, then it struggles to find that accuracy. So you don't want to set it too low because you didn't have to keep retrying it. But if you set it just right enough, it'll be consistent. So here we go. All right, so it's laying down some PTG, purging out that blue peel layer I had in it. Here goes nothing. Okay, so I did the first layer slow, so that way I have better adhesion. So that's why the first layer is slow. I just want to make sure it sticks before I before it goes nuts. I won't record the whole thing, but I just kind of want you guys to see that this machine is also capable of pushing some speeds. Now, if I can anchor it down, it'll be better. Wow, that's it's actually pretty low, but that's fine. More adhesion. See if I can raise it up just a little bit. Alright, yeah, I did raise it up just a little bit. Alright. After this first layer, it should like speed up significantly. There we go. Wow, it's actually shaking. That's insane. There you go. It's actually shaking really bad. But that's to show you, that's insane. Like I'm literally holding onto the frame. It's not anchored down, so it's literally shaking. So as you can see, guys, it can do it, but it's just, this thing is not anchored, so it's just shaking itself to death. I have the iFlow Faded Dragon hotted in here, so hopefully that stays, but as you can see, it's moving. I'm also using 92-ounce stepper motors. So they're the big stepper motors in the back here. So they have a lot of torque. And as you can see, the machine is just shaking. It's insane. Again, this is 300 millimeters at 20,000 acceleration. I increased the corner square velocity at 10 millimeters instead of 5. So yeah, but it don't look like it's holding up too much. Look, it's all turned into mush there. Oh, so clearly still got some tuning to do at this speed. Yep, still got some tuning to do clearly. Nope. It's like shaking like insanely. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna stop this because clearly I need to get some tune. But I just wanted to let you know that this thing it has the ability to print fast. This is insane. Look, it's like shaking. Look at this. Like everything is jerking and shaking. The whole frame is literally just shaking. So there you go. See you guys later.